Florida's decision to repeal its vaccine mandates is causing uproar in the state and across the nation. It is even drawing criticism from President Trump. But teachers and doctors in South Florida worry about how the repeal impacts local low-income neighborhoods. DC Bureau reporter Duvasana Basundio has more on the story.
Here at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, states are given the option to regulate their vaccine mandate, allowing Florida to repeal theirs. Now, we've heard backlash from President Trump and other Republicans, but I talked to teachers who fear that Florida is endangering their schools and their communities.
The initial reaction from administrators and from teachers alike was, is this real? Is this really happening?
Ricky Junquera is the communications director of the United Teachers of Dade, a teachers union that advocates for educators, students, and public education in Miami-Dade County. He says educators worry about how this decision could impact students and faculty. South Florida doctors joined in, saying that with the repeal comes an increase in disease rates for measles, polio, pertussis, and more.
As you know, if you ask any parent that sends their kids to school, we're constantly dealing with kids being sick from, viruses and colds that they pick up all the time. But thankfully, the rates are still lower than what it would have been if our kids weren't vaccinated.
Doctors and educators in Miami-Dade are part of many who are criticizing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Florida Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo's repeal of the state's vaccine mandates, which could be rolled back on December 3rd. President Donald Trump critiqued the repeal last Friday, saying routine vaccines should be used, otherwise people may be endangered. Some Republicans also disagreed with North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis, telling The Hill Wednesday that the repeal is a horrible idea and a bad policy not rooted in science. Amid the backlash, however, Ladapo stood his ground, saying over the weekend that no studies were necessary to analyze how ending the mandates would affect public health. But doctors cited the potential disease risks among children and immunocompromised people, especially in low-income neighborhoods in South Florida.
We live in a community and in a collective environment, and part of our responsibility is protecting the people who we live with.
On Thursday, new polling from Florida gubernatorial candidate and Democrat David Jolly revealed that 60% of Florida voters opposed DeSantis' repeal of the vaccine mandate. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Duvasana Basundio.